welcome to the Independence Day special transmission on PTV World. I'm Waqas Majeed, and we're here in the studios with our very special guests. Let's talk to them. First of all, I'd like to introduce Dr. Salma Sadiqui. She is an educationist and is working in the field of education for the past many decades in Pakistan. Along with her, we also have a very special guest who is a student, and her name is Deena Sheikh, and she will also sing for us in the course of our transmission. I'd like to introduce Vakshi-Bakshi. Vakshi is a musician. He's also performed in the Coke studio, and he is part of a band called the Bakshi Brothers. And along with him, we have a very, very special guest, and that is Jhangir Niazi. He is the grandson of Mr. Tufail Niazi, and in my books, that's enough for him to be, for his claim to fame to be that. Well, thank you very much, all of you, for being here. And first of all, very special Independence Day to all of you, and in fact to the entire country and all Pakistanis living abroad all over the world. A very, very special, happy Independence Day to you all. So, Madam Salma, I know that it's hard to talk about the developments over the 70 years that Pakistan has witnessed when we talk about education, unfortunately, and that has been a gripe and a concern for so many people. Why do you think that in the past 70 years we haven't really been able to do so much for education that we ought to have done?
Okay, so I just can't say that we haven't done much. We have done a lot. And if you can see the universities, the education and the accomplishment of all these young students today, so you wouldn't say that we haven't done anything. But perhaps it has been a lopsided, you can say, achievement.
Right.
There are many sectors that still required our priority and should have been our priority, and which has been neglected. So we do see little pockets where a lot of achievement has come. Just recently we have seen that Cambridge results came out, and you must have seen that what kind of accomplishment our young students have made in that era. But also we cannot ignore the many pockets where the villages, where parents do not have that kind of income to invest in the education of their own offspring. So there a lot of
when we talk about the kind of investment the government has been doing in education, there is, like you mentioned, a lopsided development in the sense that we spend a lot of money on higher education.
True.
But unfortunately, that's not the case when it comes to primary education, and that is far more important than higher education.
Exactly.
So
how do you come up, how do you increase or improve the quality of higher education if you're not starting right?
Absolutely.
So that is something that I have been like, I am in higher education for the past many years, and I see many people benefiting from the investment that's been done in higher education. Still, I've always been a critic of all that investment that is only focused towards higher education.
Right.
So what happens when we have students coming to the universities from different parts of the country? We see a huge gap where you want to impart the kind of skill the universities should be imparting. So when there's a jump from the colleges, from the intermediate or the bachelor level to the master's levels or the bachelor levels and intermediate. So there's a gap, and this gap is not filled. And what happens, the very high achieving students, when they come to the university, they have a lot of issues with adjustment and with becoming demotivated and getting into other things. So if we had spent at least half of what we have spent on higher education and built it from the very bottom, the foundation,
right.
I think we would have made a very long-term investment into the nation building.
Yes, let's hope that we can start doing that now after 70 years. Now, it's always good to start whenever. First long journey begins with the first step, and we need to take that. Okay, Deena, talk to us about your interests. First of all, what class are you in?
I'm in grade 6.
6?
Yeah.
Wow, you look very tall to be in grade 6.
Everyone says that.
All right. So, Deena, what are your interests besides studying, I hope?
I like studying, but I love music and dance, and I love art, and I also love history.
All right.
And I'm a history nerd. I love history, and yeah.
Okay. So, we also understand that you're here with your teacher, who is Mr. Vakshi-Bakshi. He's also a renowned singer. He's been singing in Coke Studio. So are you a big
Yeah.
fan of his?
I'm a huge fan.
And that's why you became his student?
Well, I mean, I think he should answer the questions.
No,
Actually,
how can he
I
answer?
found her as a good singer, so then.
Okay, we should ask you, how did you discover this talent in Deena? Huh?
Once she came in the music room and she said that, sir, can I sing something? I said, okay. I was like, hectic with all the children and, So when she started singing, she said, can I sing opera? And opera is one of the most difficult form of music. When she started singing opera, I was like, look at her and the way she was singing, I was really impressed.
Wow.
But, now she's in Pakistan, she was in Australia, so I realized that she should take some Eastern classical music, She should learn Eastern classical. So it's been, I think, 9 months, 10 months?
At least a year.
Yeah, at
About
least
a
a
year.
year. She's learning Eastern classical singing now.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's incredible. And where did you learn Eastern classical
From my
singing?
father, his name is Muhammad Ajmal Khan Sahab, and he's a tabla maestro. So, yeah, I mean, I have learned from everyone actually, but the proper classes I have took from my father.
All right,
Yeah.
wonderful. So Jhangir, tell us a bit about yourself and your interests. What are you doing these days?
I'm doing music and also teach in school, music teaching. So music जो है वो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है और सबसे पहले जो कि मेरे लिए बहुत प्राउड की बात है कि मैं तुफैल न्याज़ी साहब के घर में
Yes, no doubt.
पैदा हुआ
बिल्कुल।
और इससे अब बढ़कर मेरे लिए आगे कोई चीज़ नहीं है.
Wonderful. So I hope that you have prepared something nice for us from Tufail Niazi Saab's repertoire to sing for us. Do you have
जी
something?
इंशाल्लाह कोशिश पूरी करेंगे लेकिन वो बहुत बड़े थे.
Bilkul.
He is actually one of the top 8 contestants in Pakistan Idol.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed.
Thank
So I
you.
think we should start with Jhangir and see. Let's get this this show rolling let's get this show on the road, as they say. So Jhangir, can you please
Why not?
sing us something wonderful?
We have
Okay.
prepared a patriotic song. Can you sing first?
Okay, go ahead,
Yeah,
please,
okay.
please do.
ये वतन तुम्हारा है, तुमको पास इसके, ये चमन तुम्हारा है, तुमको नगमा इसके, ये वतन तुम्हारा है, तुमको नगमा इसके, इस ज़मीं की मट्टी में खून है शहीदों का, अर्ज़ पाक मरकज़ है कौम की उम्मीदों का, नज़्म व ज़ब्त को अपना मेरे कारवां जानो, वक्त के अंधेरों में अपना आप पहचानो, ये वतन तुम्हारा है, तुमको पास इसके, ये चमन तुम्हारा है, तुम हो नगमा इसके, के फूलों पर रंगो आब तुमसे है, ये ज़मीं का हर ज़र्रा आफ़ताब तुमसे है, ये फ़िज़ा तुम्हारी है, बरोबर तुम्हारे हैं, कहकशां के ये नाले रह गुज़र तुम्हारे हैं, ये वतन तुम्हारा
Indeed. Very nice. Very, very nice. In fact, Sherry, you also have a very nice voice. I just
Thank you.
noticed.
Thanks so
Excellent. Very well done. So before we go back to Jhangir for us to hear something from his grandfather's vast library, let's listen to what Deena has prepared for us. Deena, are you ready?
Let's see.
Well, you don't have a choice. You have to be. All right, let's have something from Deena.
Gagari jari jari, gagari jari jari, gagari jari jari, gagari jari jari. पिया को संदेशा मोरा कहीं हो जा, को संदेशा मोरा कहीं हो जा. Kagari jari jari, kagari jari jari. याद अवन मोहे पिया की बत्तियाँ, याद अवन मोहे पिया की बत्तियाँ. याद अवन मोहे पिया की बत्तियाँ, याद अवन मोहे पिया की बत्तियाँ. उन बिन जिया मोरा नित सजात, उन बिन जिया मोरा नित सजात. Kagari jari jari, kagari jari jari, kagari jari jari, kagari jari jari. Sari gari gama gama pa ma pa dha pa dhani dhani sa sani dhani dha pa ma ga ma gari gari sa gari ga sa sari ga sa sari ga sa sa.
Oh, very nice. Lovely.
Thank you.
But I think you still need a lot more practice.
No, I'm very nervous.
Oh, you're nervous.
I'm very nervous.
Don't be nervous. I hope your nervous is out now that you've got it out of your system. No? Still nervous?
Still there.
Okay. Well, let's move on and talk a little bit about education, since you are also a student. So, Madam Salma, tell us a bit about your work, and over the many years of your or decades of experience in the field of education, what would you like to share with our audience, and some advice maybe for the sector that you work for, the education sector, the powers that be, things that you'd like to suggest?
Okay, so one thing that I've noticed over the years is how much effort goes into the curriculum development. Curriculum development is very important, and then comes the faculty development, whoever is teaching, whether it's at a school level, at kindergarten level, or at the university level. Many a time what we see, there's a gap between the curriculum that is there to be taught and the faculty, whether it's equipped with the required skill or not. At each level, with primary level, secondary level, and the university level, there are different methodology, pedagogical skills that are needed to be to impart the lesson or the objectives of the curriculum. But we don't see a lot of investment in that era as well. And what you must have noticed that when children get into the school, the youngest one, the Montessori, it's very hands-on. They experiment, they handle everything, they do things with their hands. And there we understand how it is important that the child has to explore the environment. Then we forget that.
Right.
Then we come and sit into the benches. And even in the universities, there are benches and
Right.
desks. And then you are a passive learner, and the teacher comes and it tells you what it is, what the fact about the world is.
Right.
Where is the experimentation? Where is the exploration? A
Right.
teenager requires more exploration compared to a toddler, but we just deny that environment.
Right.
And in a university as well, we are so grade-centric,
Right.
exam-oriented, that where is the learning? Where is the education?
Well, those are like serious questions that you've raised. You know, those can't really be answered in our little program on the Independence Day, because most people on this day are probably avoiding going to school anyway. You know, they're happy that, hey, come on, it's time to celebrate Pakistan's independence. No time for scholastic or
Yeah.
educational talk,
Yeah.
really. But
Yeah.
it's important, you know, it's very important. The things that you've mentioned need to be paid attention to. Unfortunately, they haven't been. And we hope that now, it's been 70 years since the creation of Pakistan, and no force can undo it. So now we hope that we should move away from the security-centric existence that we've led and move towards a more welfare-oriented or towards a trajectory or a direction which is more inclusive about the people and talking about
and
the
the
people's
development of
welfare.
a human being. That should be
Absolutely,
the
as
purpose.
citizens,
Yeah,
as good citizens of Pakistan,
Yeah.
we need to pay attention to that. Very, very important. Deena, as a student, what do you do when you go to school? What's your day like? What are you interested in? Do you have extracurricular activities?
Yes, I have dance. Then there's football and all the sports, and we have robotics. That's pretty cool.
Is it?
And yeah, and we have music and dance.
Why
and
is it cool?
robotics? I haven't been in it, but I've heard it's cool.
Oh, you've heard?
But it's still cool.
Okay. Yes, go on.
And my Sir Sharyar was actually the music teacher in our club, and our music teacher for the classes. So,
Right.
Yeah.
So, Sharyar, tell us about your experience in music. What got you into it? Of course, you're the son of a great tabla player. So, what kind of environment do you find in Pakistan that supports the kind of work that you do, or do you think that it's really hard? Tell us about your experience as a musician in Pakistan.
I mean, there are so many talented people. We all know that. So many talented in every field, not only in music. But the thing is, we don't have any platforms to showcase our talent, right? So, but I had opportunity to perform in Nescafe Basement. It was one of the best young shows, right? So I have performed in Nescafe Basement 2 seasons. Then, you know, I have performed in Coke Studio, and now I'm doing films. But those musicians who don't have any tag, brand tag, they are, you know, just searching for platforms. Actually, this is very unfortunate scene in Islam.
And it's even
especially-
more unfortunate that you have to mention things like Nescafe Basement or
Yeah.
Coke Studio or Pepsi Battle of the
Yeah.
Brands or XYZ number of
Stepsister
brands that are.
Studio recently.
Why can't people actually understand the importance of music to their
Yeah,
existence
exactly.
and their well-being? It's food for your soul,
Yeah, exactly.
and you need
exactly.
it.
Actually, they are marketing their brands. I'm sorry to say, but actually they are marketing their brands. The source is music,
Yes.
but actually they are marketing.
Yeah,
You know,
it's very unfortunate.
unfortunate scene, because there are so many offices like there should be music workshops where Sajad Ali is coming and giving music workshop and classes, so that we can learn so many things, new
Exactly.
things, right?
Yes.
But what we are learning, I'm learning from him, he's learning from me. If I have seen a music video, I will ask Jhangir, yaar ye music video dekho. So this is what we are doing in these days. We don't have any music classes, you know, in Islamabad, proper music classes where we can go and, you know, learn music. But still, we are going well, I think still.
I think it's the passion which is
Yeah, exactly.
making you survive in
Yes,
this
yes, yes.
environment which is not at all conducive to the arts in any way or form.
Exactly.
All right, we don't want to talk too much about the sad, rather
Yeah.
tragic consequences that we are faced with, but we'll talk about the good things. So before we talk about anything good, let's hear something good from Jhangir. Jhangir, can you sing us something nice
Yeah.
from
now
Tufail
I
Niazi
think
We should
Saab's-
sing any
The other
Tufail Niazi
tracks,
song?
yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Your own song or from your grandfather's?
No, my grandfather.
Please go
And
ahead.
let me tell you, Tufail Niazi Saab was the first singer who appeared on PTV.
Right.
Yeah,
Of course.
with his brother Qurban Niazi Saab. And he
Yeah.
sang Lai Be Kadran?
Yeah.
Yes,
The
he
first
sang Lai
song.
Lai Be Kadran Al Yari.
Yari Te
What a
Toot Gayi.
I
beautiful
think we should
song.
sing Lai Be Kadran.
Fine.
Okay?
Brilliant. And we're in for a treat.
Scale थोड़ा सा change करो.
Wait.
Thank you. नी मिलिया यार कहर विच परिया अते नैना चढ़ी खुमारी काले रूप ते यार डंगड़ नूं ओदे हत्थ विच हुस्न कटारी लाई बेकदरा नल यारी लाई बेकदरा नल यारी ते टूट गई तड़क करके बल्ले बल्ले बे टूट गई तड़क करके लाई बेकदरा नल यारी ते टूट गई तड़क करके बल्ले बल्ले बे टूट गई तड़क करके जदों से यो मस्त जवानी होश आवने लगी ओ जदों से यो मस्त जवानी होश आवने लगी ओ जाके भाग मही कर आया जाके भाग मही कर आया शगन मनावन लगी ओ भर के पैग दिता दिल बनो भर के पैग दिता दिल पर खुशी मनावन लगी बुला नाल लगी जद प्याली है ते टूट गई तड़क 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 करके लाई बेकदरा नल यारी ते टूट गई तड़क करके बल्ले बल्ले बे टूट गई तड़क करके लाई बेकदरा नल यारी ते टूट गई तड़क करके बल्ले बल्ले बे टूट गई तड़क करके चाई चाई चुके हार नू नाल गले ते छोया मैं चाई चाई चुके हार नू नाल गले ते छोया पैड़ी निकली डोर नकारी हाय ते टूट गई तड़क लाई बेकदरा नल यारी ते टूट गई तड़क करके बल्ले बल्ले बे टूट गई तड़क करके लाई बेकदरा नल यारी ते टूट गई तड़क करके बल्ले बल्ले बे टूट गई तड़क करके
MashaAllah, Subhanallah. Bahut ala. Very nice.
Thank you very much.
That was very, very good. But do you remember any more of your grandfather's songs that are of the same kind of tempo? Because a lot of his songs were very slow. And you know, he was a folk singer.
Yeah.
But there were some slow tunes like Chidiyan Da Chamba and so
Chidiyan
on
Da
and so
Naal.
forth.
Yes,
But
yes.
there was very few which were on a very fast tempo, such as this one. There was this one song, and I only remember the last line from that song, and it was Nair de Pulte Aatenu Dudda Glass Pilama, something like that. But it was also a fast-paced song. Do you have any
I
recollection
think
of
it
that?
was Boliyan.
Yeah, I think it's Boliyan.
Yeah, do you know that song?
Wait, really sorry, but I remember the song.
It's all right. It's okay. If you don't remember it, no big deal.
Okay.
But next time, you must remember it.
Inshallah, inshallah.
Okay, Sherry, coming back to you, what have you been doing in your own sort of creative endeavors? Have you been working on your own original music as well?
Yeah, I've been working with so many other bands as well, like as tabla player, because I also play tabla. So I'm a session player with so many bands, but obviously my first priority is my own band, Bakshi Brothers. But now in these days, we are working on our album, and we are working on a project of a film, Pakistani film, and there is a band which is I can't mention right now, but it's an instrumental band on which we are working as there are 4 instrumental musicians, and we are working on.
What are the instruments?
It's drum and ghada, tabla and djembe, like a fusion.
Oh, it's a completely percussion band.
Only, no vocals, no string instrument, only rhythm. And in a song, We are playing bottles and drums and
So are you playing the drums?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you also teach drums?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So you're a proper music
You can
teacher,
say,
or
you can say,
can we
because-
call you maestro from now
Oh
on?
no, don't call me. But it's my passion to explore instruments actually. Not strings so much, but percussions I can play more than.
But you
drums.
also have a lovely voice. Have you been working on any of your own original songs?
Yeah. I have performed what I have performed in Coke Studio. I
You
sang
were
in
s-
Coke Studio.
yeah, you were singing.
Because they were not allowing me to play rhythm, so I sang in Coke Studio.
Okay,
Yeah.
so would you like to sing us that song or any
Ah.
others that you've prepared? Or
Okay, I can sing a few lines for like.
please go
my own
ahead.
song.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Can you please sing? खालिस मक्खन दूध मखाने किथे गए. It's about our traditions. समय सुहाने गीत पुराने किथे गए. खालिस मक्खन दूध मखाने किथे गए. होया एडा गुप हनेरा कुछ दिसदा नहीं. अपनी मंजिल अपना डेरा दिसदा नहीं. सजन बेली तेरा मेरा दिसदा नहीं. हो बत्ती वाला कोई बनेरा दिसदा नहीं. हो सोने शहाने किथे गए. कर्मा वाले बिबने आने किथे गए. खालिस मक्खन दूध मखाने किथे गए. मेरी दाची दे गल विच टल्लियां वे मैं पीर मनावण. चलियां शाला वाले पीरा हो. पीरा हो. पीरा. पीरा हो. पीरा.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Excellent, Sherry.
Thank you.
I think you really have a good future ahead of you in music.
I hope so.
I hope so too. You really deserve it. So, what about Deena? Deena, is that the only song you prepared for us, or is there anything else you can sing?
Well, I prepared a song with Sir Sharior, Soni Dhardi.
Okay. So,
Is it
would you like to
Dhardi?
sing that for us?
Dhardi. Sure.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Can I say something before?
Please, please.
Just like the way they're singing, look at this. There's so much to it. There's folk wisdom. There's education in that as
Absolutely.
well. And what we are focusing in our education is only the verbal part of it. It's the small part of our brain that there's a kinesthetic to it.
Yes.
The percussion that you're talking about, all the instruments.
Right.
That's also intelligence. That's also part of the human development.
It is.
But it is not part of our education.
Yes, and that's very sad. And I
It's
think
very sad.
you being in this field of education should actually raise your voice about that. You should have, you should promote arts and cultural activities in your institutions, and you should actually, spend money on these things. Unfortunately, in Pakistan,
Beg for
that is the
money
one
so that we
tragic
can
thing that
spend,
we
yeah.
are facing. That
Yeah,
there's.
sure.
We've had so many problems to deal with. I think that is the reason why we've not been able to pay attention to our arts. They've actually dwindled, and a lot of great work was done in the earlier part of Pakistan's existence. In the first, I think, up till the 70s or so, or even up till the 80s, there was great work being done in Pakistan when it comes to music and art and film and so forth. But it's all kind of went down the drain. Unfortunately, we're
But
faced
it
with.
is coming back, and people, a lot
It
of
is,
people
hopefully, yes.
are working on it, and good movies, good projects
Because
are coming
finally the military, we must salute them that they have taken the militants and the terrorists to task, and therefore we have this space that we can promote our art and culture rather than just keep fighting with these obscurantists who destroy our religion and also
Right.
kill people.
up. Right.
So let's move on forward and sing a beautiful song on this Independence Day, and by our budding artist Deena Sheikh.
Soni
प्यारा तेरे दम से शान हमारी तुझसे नाम हमारा जब तक है ये दुनिया बाकी हम देखें आजाद हम देखें आजाद तुझे हम देखें आजाद सोनी धरती अल्लाह रखे कदम कदम आबाद कदम कदम आबाद तुझे कदम कदम आबाद सोनी धरती अल्लाह रखे कदम कदम आबाद कदम कदम आबाद तुझे कदम कदम आबाद.
You turned us all into singers, Sherry. Well done, man. Excellent. Thank you so much. That was brilliant. Okay, ma'am, let's talk a bit more about the state of education in Pakistan. We spoke about the importance of primary education. And do you think that there is something that you can do to improve the quality of education? Because we've spoken about that. Even the Prime Minister and the other officials of this land have spoken about the quality that has suffered of primary education in our country.
Yeah.
What do you think should be done about it? What are the first steps we can do in order to improve the quality of the education being imparted?
The answer is very simple and also very complicated. The simple thing is that we have to raise the budget allocation for the health and education, both of it.
But by the way, if you go and look at the figures, the health budget and the education budget is quite high. We just don't know what happens to all that money, where it goes.
We can have a debate on that as well. But if you look at some of the reports that keep coming about a number of students who are out of school.
Yes, and
So-
there is a law in this country. The Constitution of
Yeah.
Pakistan says that every child in this country should be given
Yes.
compulsory education. But
So-
unfortunately, like many other laws, that is also not implemented.
Yeah, but one thing that is, I'm saying that there are many parts of the population that is deprived of this basic right to education. But there are many people who have this passion and then they are working towards that goal. But this is all what one must say, that individual-led efforts.
Right.
So if we can come together and make it like come under education, some education department or something, it will have more, I think, impact. And that is something that we really need to do.
Absolutely.
And even those children who are in a school, their quality of education has to be improve as well to like meet the current demands. She talked about robotics and she
Right.
was how excited she was.
Yes.
Our children have a lot of skills and they are very intelligent. They just need opportunities and exposure.
Right.
And we can beat the world.
Absolutely.
We have
No
the
doubt
talent
about
to
that.
beat the world.
Deena, would you like to share something with us? You wanted to say something?
No, I'm good, thank you.
No? You don't want to say anything?
No.
All right, let's move on. Sherry, what other, I mean, you're teaching music at Deena's school, right?
Yeah.
Apart from that, how do you spend your time? What are the ways in which you're working towards creating your space in the musical world, so to speak?
I like photography because black and white photography, not
Okay.
colors. I don't like color photography. I like black and white. And most of time, during studio work, you don't know what's happening outside, and you're doing your work. Especially when you're working on a film, on your album, so your all concentration should be on your work. So
Right.
I don't have so many activities. Most of times, my friend came in my studio and we are having music and playing guitar, and he's saying, "Yaar, ye dekho, ye maine chord baja raha hu. Acha, let me try." These activities most of times.
All right, but working towards your album, like you mentioned the band that you're talking
Yeah,
about,
Bakshi Brothers,
Bakshi Brothers,
yeah.
in that you said is a percussive band.
No.
That's not a
It was-
percussive band.
It was another band,
Okay.
and Bakshi Brothers is a kind of Sufi rock, Qawwali band, Sufi band.
Okay.
And we are 4 brothers, and we all sing, we all play instruments, and we cover the songs, and some of them are original. So yeah.
All four of you brothers are into music,
Yeah, yeah,
and you're all, I'm sure you all must be very talented.
yeah.
So what are the instruments that your brothers play?
My brother plays harmonium, accordion, piano.
And you mentioned
Keys.
Qawwali in there, so why Qawwali? What kind of a background do you have in Qawwali?
My dada was Bakshi-Bakshi Qawwal. He
Right.
was a very famous Qawwal, and my uncles, they are, you know, nowadays they are in UK and famous as BJS, Bakshi Javed Slamat,
Okay.
and we are Bakshi brothers. So Qawwali is something, you know, we have seen when we were growing up.
So you would say it's in your blood.
Obviously, of course, yes.
So is there some Qawwali piece that you can perform for us? Or do you think that will be pretty difficult?
No, I can.
Yeah? So let's hear it.
Without tabla,
Without tabla, but let's hear it.
without the clapping, all that.
No problem. Even the poetry is beautiful.
Yeah, obviously. It's by Hazrat Amir Khusro, and it's in Rag Aman, Lydian scale. छाप तिलक सब छीनी रे मुझसे नैना मिलाई के छाप तिलक सब छीनी रे मुझसे नैना मिलाई के नैनों में आई के नैना मिलाई के नैनों में आई के नैना मिलाई के नैनों में आई के बात अधम कहती नीरे मुझसे नैना मिलाई के बात अधम कहती नीरे मुझसे नैना मिलाई के सा 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 गरे गरे सा 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 गरे गरे सा 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 oh sorry गोरी गोरी भैया हरी हरी चूड़ियाँ जी हरी गौरी जी गोरी गोरी भैया गोरी गोरी भैया हरी हरी चूड़ियाँ भैया पकड़ धर ली नीरे मुझसे नैना पियाली मुझसे नैना देखो जी मुझसे नैना मिलाई के छाप तिलक सब छीनी रे मुझसे नैना मिलाई के बल बल जाऊं मैं तोरे रंग रिचवा बल बल जाऊं मैं तोरे रंग जी तोरे रंग रिचवा बल बल जाऊं मैं तोरे रंग रिचवा मोहे सुहागन की नीरे मुझसे नैना मिलाई के मोहे सुहागन की नीरे मुझसे नैना मिलाई के छाप तिलक सब नीरे मुझसे नैना मिलाई के
Wow, brilliant. It is the first time I've heard Qawwali on an acoustic guitar, and I thought it was just brilliant, and it was wonderful. Well, thank you so much, all of you, for taking out the time and spending it with us on this Independence Day. Jhangir, thank you so much. Sherry, thank you so much. Deena, thank you so much. And Madam Salma, thank you so much for being here and sharing your time with us. Thank you. Well, I hope you enjoyed our little transmission. I was extremely inspired by the music that I heard. And in the end, I'd like to say a very happy Independence Day to all Pakistanis. And with that, goodbye.